the best way. I'm not thinking about the best way to save them. I'm not thinking about the best way. I'm not thinking about the best way. I'm not thinking about the best way. I'm not thinking about the best way to save them. I'm not thinking about the best way. I'm not thinking about the best way.
5 seconds remaining, ball on the blue side. It's not gonna happen. STMC Gold take the grand final.
Because with live sport cancelled and footy fields deserted, there's never been a better time to be a gamer.
Second attempt, but no boost to fall through. He's trying desperately to get another touch, but he just cannot get there. And with 5 seconds remaining, that could have been the last attempt. Colt's gonna get one more goal in. And STMC Gold take game number 1 with that goal right there. Granted,
playing online games in a school uniform is now the next big thing.
He is now in a position. The C4 comes out, smelts out lightning. Can't get the follow-up frag.
This is the world of esports, aka sporting comps played via online games.
it's just like any other sport. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another week of the XPHSL Queensland State Championship of Rocket League. My name is one Max Von Neumann, also known as Formal Casting. Formal for short, Mr. Casting, because I want to be a professional today. I think we might roll with that one as we get ready for 2 more great series of Rocket League here at XP. Now, it's about halfway through our 3rd season, our 3rd iteration of this tournament, and despite the smaller crowd, the smaller amount of teams, this actually been the most dominant series yet, specifically by one team, the Lakes College. This team rose up from the Academy League last season. They're now playing with the big boys, and they have yet to drop a game. 6 wins straight, round differential of 18 plus. Like, they are absolutely destroying everybody, and we're going to be seeing them first. But before we get too into it, we have to show out our love and our thank you to the sponsors, which you can kind of see behind me, but more importantly, they do have some beautiful little advertisement posters, I suppose, screens. ZQ Racing is that first one. The Gamer Series, it's what's out now. Internal steel frame, adjustable armrest, full 180 to recline. But the most important thing above all of that is that neck and lumbar pillows, that neck and lumbar support. Protect your back. Get one of these things. They're absolutely phenomenal. I mean, they're comfortable. I get to sit in one every week. The highlight of the week. As good as the Rocket League is, it's all about this chair, trust. It is a fantastic series, so go ahead, check them out. You can either pick up or they'll do delivery. A lot of ways to pay, so more information, check out zqracing.com.au. Also, a big thank you as well to the Computer Alliance. They're out there helping sort of supply a lot of the technology that we get to use back here in the XP office and studio. I mean, all these computers, all of this tech, it comes courtesy of them. Great stuff, so please go out there, check them out. You also have, apparently, Intel, Cooler Master, and ASOS ROG as well, so big thank you to all of them. However, we've got to start looking ahead right now. We've got Rocket League soon to be kicking off. Chisholm Maroon versus the Lakers Legends. That's going to be our first game, and when we take a look at the standings right now, we can kind of get that idea of where everyone is sitting. Lakers Legends, obviously, they're up top. Marsden Makos, they're in second place. The defending champs, they're still in the hunt. But Chisholm Maroon, they actually have, that sort of round differential in their favor. Realistically, they'd be that second place team right now. And this is their chance to really stamp their authority and perhaps take down that undefeated team. So it's going to be a big first match for them. They're fighting to stay in that top 4. They do have STMC right behind them. But it's when you go further down the table, things are looking a little dicier. Chisholm Green, the Marauders, Forest Lake, Somerset Spartans, they're all sort of trying to make that second half season run. Our second match will kind of be another big heavyweight blow, though. I mean, Marston Makos will be taking on Chisholm Maroon, and realistically, I think that's going to be that fight for second place. I'm kind of picking Lakers Legends to win this first one. I mean, when you're undefeated with an 18-round differential, you're all high school students watching. You can do the math, okay? What would an 18-round differential mean to a 6-0 record? Spoiler, they're 3-0 every single game thus far. They have yet to drop a game. Chisholm Maroon might be the first, but as a team, the Lakers Legends are on top, so I'm picking them to take that first series, but it's that Marston Makos versus Chisholm Maroon, a rematch of what was the finals, actually, last split. That's going to be our second game, and that's kind of going to be my game to watch, so going to be a lot of fun today. A lot of Chisholm Maroon. So we're going to really get to know this team before the day is done, as we are going to be getting them back to back. Now, we will be going to the pitch as soon as all of our players do jump in. We're still sort of waiting for some of them to come in right now, so just going to sort of chill out and relax a bit, as hopefully we will be getting into it. And as soon as we do, it's going to be an exciting game. But as you do know, I am a solo caster. It's hard work being alone behind this desk. It can be a little intimidating sometimes, which is why I look to you, Twitch chat. You're going to be my color casters for this, so if you want to cheer on a team, if you want to provide intelligent analysis or whatever you want to say, I am reading. I want to interact. I want to be your friend. Please save me. It's so lonely back here. I need the friends. We're lonely. However, all right. Enough of that, though. We will be kicking off in just under a minute, so still waiting for everyone to get back in, and then we will be good to go. Chisholm Maroon taking on the Lakers Legends. Chisholm Maroon will be in blue. Lakers Legends will be rocking out in orange. Personally, I prefer being on the orange side, so it's only adding to my prediction right here that the Lakers Legends probably take game number 1 and probably series number 1. We've kind of seen these guys every single day thus far, and they always continue to impress, so going to be a pretty strong performance, I feel like, out of them, as still sort of waiting for that. Just take a look at some of the other matches that are happening, too. You have Marston Makos taking on STMC, Chisholm Green taking on Somerset College, and the Maryborough Marauders taking on Forest Lake. So a lot of those teams on the lower half of the ladder actually squaring off. It's going to be pretty interesting, and I think there's a good chance for Chisholm Green to start that run to maybe push themselves from 5th back up into 4th place. That's what they're going to be shooting for, and they've got two opportunities today. Their second match is against STMC as well, so I can see a world where we almost see that Chisholm Green late run. Will be exciting if they can pull it off, as we do continue with this one. You already know the answer to that, Wombat, and I'm not sure. I want to share it. No, of course I'll share. Look, it's same thing as always for like the few people out there who are actually interested in casting. The secret to getting into it is just doing it. Start solo. Ask where you can volunteer, put in the work, and then, just keep grinding and keeping on it. It's all about practice. It's all about repetition. Watch the pros who do it and learn their techniques, and then mimic it as best you can. Throw your own spin. But, yeah, that's sort of where it all comes from. A love of yelling. Anyways, it looks like the players are jumping in, so shall we as we get ready. Whoop. That's not the button I meant to hit. Whoop-de-doop-a-doop. There we go. All right, jumping onto the pitch. Here we go. On the blue side, once again, it's Chisholm Maroon. In orange, it's the Lakers Legend. As we kick this one off already. A good little shot from Law. So that does set up Dew off the backboard. And 7 seconds is all it takes for Chisholm Maroon to get themselves that early lead. And a little bit of a surprise right there maybe for the Lakers Legends. They have yet to drop a game, let alone match, and they find themselves behind early. This is going to be an interesting affair. So 1-0 lead for Chisholm Maroon to start us off. Ball goes up. Rothy doesn't get that defensive pass I think he was really looking for at the start of this. It still winds up. A good pass up to Lawson. Going to try and go for a pancake shot. Doesn't find it. You can see Marshall holding it in place. Oh, Drew also goes for that pancake shot, but interesting. It's a bit of a name change, actually. Mountain with no Dew has changed his name to Dew 2.0. I don't know the reasoning behind it. I don't know if I necessarily appreciate it. I kind of like Mountain with no Dew, but perhaps Dew 2.0 is that next evolution of a strong Rocket League player. Now, when we're looking at the Lakers legends, this is the guy I want to watch. Prithium has been sort of that standout player in my eyes. He's been the most consistent, the most willing to contest, the most willing to push down the field, and we've seen some pretty incredible goals out of him. So if Prithium can get involved, we'll see good things. At the moment, though, it's Rothy, actually, who will be able to find the equalizer. Nice initial touch, takes advantage of the forward positioning from Chisholm Maroon, takes it straight over the top of them, and unfortunately for the Chisholm side, they didn't have that third member back. Now, I'm a big fan of tight spacing. I don't fault the two players who were up close in that situation, but you can only do that if you have your third man back on that defense in case situations like that do break out. So a little bit of a misstep in the positioning, unfortunately, will cost Chisholm Maroon their 1-goal lead. And now Rothy looks for the solo play. Going to be shut down by Do 2.0 and Marshall. Nice clear. Now Prithium's going to go for a solo push-up at well. Has that pass option across the middle, but Marshall on defense does enough to stop it. Third member keeps the attacking pressure on. Ball in the air, but no one's following through just yet. From underneath, Do 2.0 swings and misses. Marshall will find that clear, and it does mean hyper only. That's not the touch he wanted. Marshall takes advantage of the poor defensive effort, and that's going to be a 2-1 lead in favor of Chisholm Maroon. Yeah, Hyper wanted to get more height on that touch. He wanted to push it a little bit higher up on that backboard. Great aggressive play from Chisholm Maroon right now, and I actually am surprised to see this. Chisholm Maroon has been one of those teams where in the past I've been a little bit critical of how passive they can play at times, but that is not the case right now. They're being so aggressive. Do 2.0, I don't know how many people saw that, but in the background, stealing away the boosts from the Lakers legends, keeping them pinned down on their own side of the pitch. That was another boost steal by 2.0 as well. There's just no resources available for the Lakers legends to kind of push themselves out of this offensive barrage that is coming from the Chisholm Maroon side. This is a great looking attack right now, and the desperation starting to come into play. You can see those deeper challenges from the Lakers legends not paying off. Boosts are again available, again stolen away by Do 2.0. This is the most incredible attack I've actually seen from this team. It'd be a shame if it doesn't pay off in a goal, but Rothy may have found the crack in the armor and is able to clear it down. Does get his open a boost, goes for the double, isn't able to connect on it. Pass across the middle of the box. Do 2.0 will be able to maintain it in time. I was so impressed with that 1.5 minute attack, though, from the Chisholm Maroon. They did everything you were supposed to do when on offense, except for scoring the goal. But when you look at this team, and when you look at how they've grown, that is the type of Rocket League I want to see from these high schoolers. That was absolutely phenomenal stuff. And if you want to beat the undefeated team, that is how you're going to have to do it. Now for the Lakers legends, this is the most I've seen them challenge. This is a proper fight now for them. And I'm curious if this previous academy team is going to rise to the occasion right now and actually find this equalizing goal. It's going to be so difficult because everything they're trying to do is a fight, be it even getting to the ball or getting their own boost. They have an opportunity here as Hyper Neon does get it through the corner. Rothy won't be able to get the pass he wants as Do 2.0 instead throws it back to Marshall. It's a pass up to Lasso. Perhaps an opportunity right here. Takes the shot. Save made by Hyper. Do 2.0 now. Plays through the corner. Touches it back towards the net. It's off the roof. Underneath Hyper. Gets a nice touch. We'll have to follow it through. It's a risky play. This could lead to an attack, actually. Do 2.0 keeps it pressed forward. But this time, the Lakers legends, they were able to get their boost. They were able to find that clear. And now they are the ones on the attack. This is a scoring opportunity. Save made by Do 2.0. Also, keeping that attacking pressure forward from up above. Prithium tries to make the read, but instead gets cleared all the way back down. Pinch back, shot from Prithium, no! He puts it high and off the backboard. Instead, it's Hyper, cannot find the angle. And now with under a minute to go, this could be the first loss we have seen from the Lakers legends unless they can pull off that miracle goal. Rothy has to dodge his own team to get the touch, and Do 2.0 there for the punish. The speed from Chisholm, something we have not seen from this team, looking absolutely phenomenal in this opening game. 2.0 passes it back, going to get blocked by Lasso. Doesn't like that initial look. 15 seconds left of play. Ball still on that orange side of the pitch. It's in front of the goal. Marshall secures game number 1 for Chisholm Maroon. The first time Laker legends will fall. And this is massive for this blue team. Look, coming into the season, Marston Makos, the defending champions, they had roster changes. Lakers Legends, they came from Academy. If I were to pick a favorite at the start of the year, it would have been Chisholm Maroon, but they didn't get that start they were looking for. In fact, it's all been dominated by the Lakers Legends, yet here we are, one game in. Marshall's even adding more insult to injury. Chisholm Maroon are playing like that possible tournament-winning team that I expected to see from them at the start of the season. This is absolutely phenomenal. That attack, like, their ability to just suffocate Lakers Legends down, steal the boost, challenge everything. This is the type of Rocket League that not only I enjoy watching, but that the Oceanic region is known for. The only thing that they're doing that's not like what you expect from an Oceanic meta right now is they're all playing Octanes. What is this? Get the Dominuses, boys. Get your Dominuses in. Then you can be the true OCE Legends. I digress. Obviously, that's all personal preference into what kind of car you want to use. I'm a Dominus player myself, so maybe a little bit biased, but that was such a great opening game coming from this Chisholm Maroon side. They have showed up wanting to play spoiler today. They are taking it to the Lakers Legends. That attack, so suffocating. And for the Lakers Legends to come back into this now, they need to find a way to just really win some of those 50s and make sure they can secure their own boosts. Like, that's been the biggest problem when on defense for them. Like, even if they get that good defensive touch, they haven't been able to follow up just because of the boost starving that we were seeing out of this Chisholm Maroon side. Phenomenal stuff from the blue team. Now, whether or not they're able to be, like, we can see them sustain it, well, we'll find out. It's going to be initial attacking pressure coming from the orange team. That angle from Rothy. Sometimes you just, shots get taken that you cannot defend, as we see this one again. I mean, it wasn't the tightest angle, but it was the speed at which that was properly banged. He got that ball right in the sweet spot, right in the corner of his car too, where you can generate that most power from it. Great goal from Rothy. As we see Lasso try to take it over the middle. Not going to work out this time. Brithium will clear it down. Chisholm, we know they're good on offense today. Let's see what their defense is going to look like, because this is a very dangerous setup right now being established by the Lakers Legends. I like that bump. Didn't get the ball, though, and that is really what he needed. So, not necessarily the best defense to show yet, Perithium. There's a reason why I said he's a player to watch out for. Finds the perfect touch on this goal right here to give themselves a 2-goal cushion. And game 2, perhaps a bit more of what we were expecting to see coming in today, as the Laker Legends are really starting to put the foot down. Here we go. Still plenty of time left in game number 2. And the series is a best of 5, so plenty of time. Also, shout out to Boshi with that raid of 3. Thank you so much, my dude. Anyways, Hyper Neon going to clear it across the middle of the pitch. Caught up by Do 2.0. Rothy now. Try to hold things down, trying to keep that pressure there. Lasso, oh my gosh, everyone's committing in the corner. That was the famous 5-car commit. Ball back across the top from underneath. Someone needs to make the read. It goes to Do 2.0. He's getting bumped and thrown around. Lasso somehow finds the opening. A little bit of style with the turtle at the end. This is the benefit of tight spacing at times. I mean, I feel like that was actually a double commit. I feel like that wasn't intentional, but you take those if you're Chisholm. This game, too, is starting to get a little bit sloppier than what we saw from game 1 from both teams. Realistically, each team trying to, I think, overcompensate a bit and, like, take that aggression to a scary level. I don't want to see that out of Chisholm Maroon in particular, because, like, they had that perfect balance in that first game. What a 50! What a goal from Perithium. That's a 3-1 lead. As we watch this again, Piper with the pinch. Just right up to Perithium. He gets that last momentary touch, and that's going to put that one in the goal. A 3-1 lead in favor of the Lakers Legends here in game number 2. Back to that 2-goal cushion, which I still believe they should be able to hold on to, in theory. Hyper throws it across the middle. Caught by Perithium, who instead pushes it back over to Rothy, who will look to go for that backboard play. Ball in the box. Perithium can't find the angle, but it's a triple commit by the defense. Very fortunate that no one was able to punish that. So what I'm learning in the second game is that Chisholm much more comfortable on the attack than on the defense, as you can see them again right here. I'm not sure. No, Lasso did get the boost, And that's how come he's able to challenge as tight as he is. He stole that ball away, but the follow-up not quite there. Perithium going for that redirect. Heroic effort, but with no resources available, that was always going to be a tough ask. Now we see a big attack coming from the Chisholm side. The shot from 2.0. The perfect angle right there. And I didn't like this attack initially. Lasso, I think, got a little over-eager and tried to take the ball away from Marshall. That was so risky, considering that it was a pass play. If that doesn't work, we're looking at a 3-goal deficit right now. Instead, though, they bring us back within 1, and Chisholm fighting back in this one. That is a shot. A little bit high, but the follow-up is there, and Do 2.0 ties this game 3 apiece. Marshall, though, give him the credit for this setup. Absolutely banged that ceiling corner pinch right there. All right, look, if you're out there watching and you have friends who like Rocket League, this is the time to link them to this series because this is starting to deliver. This is easily the highest skilled series we have seen yet this season. Like, these two teams are absolutely going at it right now, and this is so good to watch. Play off that back one. Marshall with the follow-through puts it in, and I'm now going to have to be a little bit critical, actually, because I'm not sure what happened with the defensive effort on this play. Rothy, it looks like he tried to jump and make the stop on the setup, but with no boost, there was no chance that was going to work. He should have fallen back, tried to possibly make the backboard read in that situation, because that wasn't the fastest setup in goal. Now, Chisholm Maroon, they have themselves the lead once again. This was a 2-goal comeback, 3 unanswered goals, in fact, going to the Chisholm Maroon side in about a minute and a half. Fantastic effort, fantastic showing. The shot being made, it's off of that backboard. Do 2.0 cannot quite follow it through from underneath. Do 2.0 continues to push it forward. Marshall goes up, tries to find the read, but cannot quite corral that ball. Speaking of which, it's bouncing around in the middle of the field. Marshall pushes it forward, looks for that second touch, doesn't find it. Instead, it goes to Rothy, who will clear it back the other way. Ball in the corner. Lasso going to go for a bit of a solo clear. Does get it back to the orange side of the pitch, but now they're pushing forward. Now we're seeing that Chisholm aggression that I've been so fond of. It's a good backward pass. Lasso just couldn't quite put it straight. Now Rothy finds that deeper clear. Oh, Lasso and Marshall bumped into each other. That's not what you want to see right now. It's Do 2.0. Puts it up in the corner. Perithium from underneath. Trying to find that pass. Trying to find that strike. It comes from Rothy. Save made by 2.0 at a very key moment. Marshall. Oh, dropped it in a dangerous spot. This has been a very patient attack coming out of the Lakers Legends right now. They're really picking their moments of when they want to strike, and unfortunately, eventually we see that clear. I love the demo from Marshall. It doesn't turn into a goal, but you can see what he was trying to do. He was trying to open that doorway. Now, under a minute left to play, and Rothy thinks he has the equalizer. Lasso will shut it down. Ball will roll back across the middle of the pitch. Hyper Neon gets the touch. Tries to find Perithium, but is unable to follow it through. From underneath, Hyper takes it to the corner. Challenged by Do 2.0, but eventually Marshall will bang it through. Up in the air, Do 2.0 getting bumped and thrown around. A goal here could end it, but instead it goes to the corner. Rothy trying to find the slow play, trying to find his opening. Doesn't find too much just yet. Time working against this Lakers Legends side, who cannot afford to go down 2-0 in this series. Not with the way Chisholm Maroons are playing. They need this dying seconds goal. Hyper Neon off the backboard, trying to set up Perithium, but it was put too high. Perithium, you want him to be the striker, not the setup man, but he's going to have to play a passing role. No one was pushing forward. Now you see the triple commit on the side. 0 seconds. Hyper tries to keep the shot alive. The dream will die. And Chisholm Maroon take game number 2. Okay. This is where things get very interesting now, because Lakers Legends put forth a very strong offensive effort in the start of that game. They controlled the tempo. They controlled the pace for the first 1.5 minutes. They got themselves a 2-goal cushion, not once but twice. However, that minute 15, minute 30 mark in the middle of the game where Chisholm Maroons were able to get not 1, not 2, but 3 unanswered goals shows not only how much the Lakers Legends struggle when challenged like Chisholm Maroons are bringing it to them, but at that same token, it also kind of shows how momentum-based this Lakers Legends team is, because the moment they lost that momentum, they were never able to bring it back. Now off the kickoff, 2 strikes! Hyper and Rothy each should have been able to get that in, but they don't find the goal. The counterattack, though, nearly hits its mark. Perithium will be able to fall back for that save. Chisholm Maroon 1 game away from ruining the perfect season. 1 game away from pulling off that upset and putting themselves, funnily enough, in a tie for first place. Ball bounces back to that corner. Hyper Neon going to challenge but loses it out. Ball bounces back towards the middle of the pitch, caught by Lasso. Ball through there for Marshall. And the ball continues to roll. Again, a deep challenge by Marshall. It's all to set up Do 2.0. Play through the corner, ball in the air, Rothy. Instead, bangs it down the middle. Will be caught by Lasso. This time up to Marshall. Into the corner we go. All to set up Lasso for the shot, but isn't able to follow that one through. Let's see what Do 2.0 can do. Clears it across the middle of the pitch. Oh, this could be good, but it's not quite there. Lasso tries to push it forward. Hyper Neon now tries to make the corner read. Kind of slow plays it forward, but it's shut down by Do 2.0. Marshall doesn't like that read. Do 2.0 likes the strike. It goes in. The solo play from Mountain with no Do 0.0. That was a absolute strike of a shot and seemingly out of nowhere. I think he faked out the defense by pretending he didn't have boost and then just really drove that ball home. 1 goal lead for the Chisholm Maroon side. Still plenty of time left in this game, though, for the Lakers Legends. But again, we haven't seen them be able to bring it back after falling behind. They've been struggling under the pressure, although that was a good shot. Marshall able to fall back and make the save, but with a double commit, it means there's not a lot of boost on this blue side. Do 2.0 was not there. No, Hyper nearly is able to bang that one in, but Lasso is there for the save. Hyper wanted it. Hyper wanted it, and I feel like that was the best opportunity for the Lakers Legends, but they're not going to get it just yet. Marshall clears it across the middle of the field. Here goes Perithium, watching the ball, looking to push it in, and there's our equalizer. If you're going to look to someone to dig deep to bring your team back on this Lakers Legends side, it has to be Perithium as he gets another one in. Close game, 1 apiece. 3:05 left to play. Back and forth affair now in our third and possibly final game of the series. Do 2.0 swings and misses. Lasso with a chance off that backboard, won't follow it through. Ball in the middle of the pitch. Rothy will touch it. It's a pass to Perithium. Backboard set up, but Hyper can't find the straight shot, and Rothy gets bumped off continuing the play. Do 2.0, though, gets too much underneath it. Still, though, they'll find that clear. No challenges by the Lakers Legends. Instead, they all opted to fall back on defense, and that means it's going to be a tougher counterattack for them. I feel like they could have challenged a little bit further up. Lasso puts that shot on and in. The flick was a thing of beauty, and it should be worth noting, actually, Lasso switched his car up a bit. He's gone to the Fennec. And the Fennec, I mean, it has a very similar, if not the same, hitbox as that Octane. So it's an aesthetic choice, it's a comfort choice, and pulling it off right there. So good little goal from Lasso. Does put Chisholm back out in front. 2.5 minutes left to play. Back and forth game. What will be the Lakers Legends answer? Do 2.0 puts it up, and this could be an immediate punish from Lasso, who again strikes with that sniper-like precision. 3-1 lead. Watching this again. Marshall actually was there as well, so it was a bit of a double commit. So not the cleanest thing in the world, but Lasso still makes it work. Plenty of time in this game. 2:17, 2-goal cushion for Chisholm Maroon. Looking for that 3-0 sweep. That's a nice pass back to Hyper, but he won't be able to find that goal. Lasso goes up but does not come down with it. Throws it back towards the middle. Eventually, Marshall, actually a bit of a patient play. He wants to read the defense, wants to plan his attack, loses possession of the ball, and the save is made. 2 minutes, 2 goals. That's what's on the equation for Lakers Legends. It's what they need. Lasso, though, wants to make it 3. Shot is saved, and that's a miss by 2.0. Do wants that one back. Marshall pinched through the corner, tries to find someone, but no one there. Hyper Neon takes it up the pitch. A little bit of a reverse play, a little bit of a freestyle attempt. Doesn't pay out. 90 seconds left to go. Chisholm Maroon, 2-goal cushion. It looks like they're going to hold on, but what is this? Do let your teammate push the ball forward. That leads to an awkward double commit, but we don't see the speed on the counterattack. Another double commit, though, and Chisholm Maroon, their communication, their rotations are completely breaking down. There are opportunities here for the Lakers Legends, but they just haven't been able to capitalize on them. 2.0 now with that shot. It will be saved by Hyper. I don't know. This game still feels on a knife's edge despite the score line, because I am seeing so many mistakes in this third game in particular by the Chisholm Maroon side that it just takes one big goal and this series can flip on its head. This could be it right here. Lakers Legends, Rothy with the setup. Lasso, though, bumps him out of the way and clears it to the corner. Still 40 seconds left to play. Hyper gets bumped around, and unfortunately the attack will fizzle for the Lakers Legend. Perithium, he's the one to watch. He's got to come up big with this corner setup right here. Instead, it goes to Hyper. Back over to Rothy. Save made, but it was a double commit on defense. Perithium, back off the backboard. Rothy had a chance. Save made by Marshall, and that was huge. Lasso continues to get it back to the middle. Marshall's going to be there to catch it, but Perithium shuts it down. Up for grabs. Double commit. No one comes down with it. 14 seconds left to play, and Chisholm Maroon are going to be walking away with the victory here. Marshall keeps Hyper down by sitting on top of him. Perithium needed to strike that straight. Instead plays the corner. Not enough time. Not enough opportunities taken. Chisholm Maroon, they ruin the perfect season. They get themselves the win. They tie themselves in first place with the rest of, well, at this stage, Lakers Legends and the Marston Makos. A great effort by the Chisholm Maroon side. 3-0, a clean sweep of that number one team coming into today. That is a statement series if I've ever seen one, and it still feels close. That 3-0 scoreline, I don't think is reflective of how tight this series actually was, but the Lakers Legends lacking the confidence to take advantage of some of Chisholm's mistakes. And that comes from how aggressive the Chisholm Maroons were playing. That game one really set the tone. Chisholm Maroon said, you know what? We're not playing back. We're not playing passive. We're going to get in your face. We're going to challenge. We're going to steal your boost. You're going to have to work if you want to go for some of your high-end passing and aerial plays, something that the Lakers Legends have been a bit more known for. That was taken off the table just by the boost control alone out of the blue side. And then Lakers Legends, I got in their head. You can see it in that third game. Hesitation when there were opportunities. The big one I remember, it was a defensive clear that kind of got a little high on Do 2.0. An aggressive team would have pushed forward there because they would have recognized that with that higher clear, it would mean a slower approach, and you actually have that wherewithal to press forward and challenge, but instead, all three members of the Lakers Legends fall back. Chisholm Maroons are able to press forward, and then they can continue to set up and sustain that offensive attack and play. Fantastic showing from both of these teams. Like, the Lakers Legends are still no slouches. They played well. But I think game one got to their head a little bit, and it affected their style for the rest of that series. Either way, a fantastic way to start off today. Now, we will be going to a break. When we return, more of this Chisholm Maroon team as they take on that other team that they're tied for first place now with, the Marston Makos. So this is a crazy day already. I'm excited to see where we go next. Don't go anywhere. More Rocket League when we return.
I think that you should come back home. Come back home.
I've been thinking about you lately and all the places that you could take me. Why you so shy? You got me going wild. 'Cause I've been saying that you got it, baby, give it to me. See my lightning, you gonna feel my thunder. Show me how you do it, come on baby, say it louder. Got you on my mind now, let me see your style. I'm on my way tonight. Oh, yeah. 'Cause I think about you, you. 'Cause I think about what I think about you. try. Don't need to behave, gonna take me away, baby. Do it one more time. And the thought of you drives me crazy. You don't need to worry, cause you know that you got me. Cause I think about you. Cause I think about what I think about you.
5 seconds remaining. Ball on the blue side. It's not going to happen. STMC Gold take the grand final.
Because with live sport cancelled and footy fields deserted, there's never been a better time to be a gamer.
Second attempt, but no boost to fall through. He's trying desperately to get another touch, but he just cannot get there. And with 5 seconds remaining, that could have been the last attempt. Colt's going to get one more goal in. And STMC Gold take game number 1 with that goal right there. Granted, we still
Playing online games in a school uniform is now the next big thing.
Bonnie is now in a position. The C4 comes out, melts out Lightning. Can't get the follow-up frag.
This is the world of esports, aka sporting comps played via online games.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to XP Esports and our presentation of the XPHSL Queensland State Championship of Rocket League. My name has not changed. It never will change, and I said it at the start of the broadcast, and I'm not going to repeat myself as we get ready for our second match of the evening. It's going to be Chisholm Maroon taking on the Marsden Makos, as it's going to be another big clash. Now, our first series in this one, we saw a bit of an upset, as it was the Chisholm side that got themselves that big first victory. They were able to win, against the likes of the Lakers legends. And when I say first victory, it really was the first defeat of the Lakers legends. They had been undefeated up until that point, and it was a really disappointing showing, I suppose, for them. They're looking to bounce back right now up against the likes of, if I take a look at my schedule down here, yes, the Maryborough Marauders. But more importantly than that, though, it's now the Marsden Makos taking on Chisholm Maroon in that new fight, essentially for, either being tied for first, I would imagine, or dropping to third place. However, before we get into this one, though, I do have some exciting news. It's about next year, 2021. We're going a bit bigger than what we saw this year. I mentioned at the start of the broadcast that, yes, this was sort of a smaller season, only 8 teams. Well, not good enough. We're going to up the stakes. A new format coming in 2021. We're talking states, then nationals. We're going cross-state. We're crossing those lines. We're going to be dividing the country up into 4 different conferences. A northern conferences consisting of Queensland and the Northern Territory, so obviously the best conference. I kind of want to call it the NFC North Light, and Green Bay Packers, go Pack, go. We'll go more into that later. Southern Conference, Victoria, South Australia, and Tasmania. The Western Conference, going to be the Western Australia state. I mean, that makes sense. And then, of course, that Central Coast Conference consisting of New South Wales and the ACT. Looking at these conferences, a lot of good schools, a lot of good players. Is really going to elevate this competition to the next level, and this is going to be so big, I feel, in terms of both supporting and developing grassroots, as well as bringing high school esports scene to that next level. This is absolutely going to be a phenomenal event, and I hope to see all these schools, and I hope to see all these future schools look forward and sign up, and let's see how big we can really make this tournament. Now, back to the action at hand, though. We still have Chisholm Maroon versus Marsden Makos. That's still on the equation right now, and I'm waiting to sort of see. Once we get that okay from the players themselves, we will be ready to go into that. So that's kind of what we're waiting for at this stage. Marsden Makos, of course, the defending champions. They won Season 2, but they were unable to really bring back that same lineup into Season 3, and we saw that at the start of the year. Their opening game was against the Lakers Legends, the first game on stream for this third season, and they came up short. It was a bit of a surprise, a 3-0 loss. However, and this is important, since then, They haven't lost a match. They've been undefeated since then, including beating Chisholm Maroon. They're one up on this Chisholm Maroon team, so that's pretty huge. And now we're starting off the second half. That's right. We are halfway through our season. This is the first game of the second half, and we're seeing Chisholm Maroon versus the Marsden Makos. A bit of a rematch for both of these teams. The Marsden Makos, they want to establish themselves as that #1 team. Well, the crown currently actually lies on this Chisholm Maroon side because they did beat the Lakers Legends. And Marsden Makos, they probably think, you know what, we beat them once before. We can go in there. We can take it from them again. But in order to do that, you got to beat Chisholm Maroon. And I actually am seeing already Chisholm Maroon. They're shining up. They're getting in there. Now starting to see the Marsden Makos side. I see Dead. I see Baboon. And I see Ranga all coming in. So it looks like we're going to be kicking off any moment. Name change once again. Mountain with no Dew is back. No longer are we seeing Dew 2.0. And I'm hoping we don't see the mentality shift back as well, because a big reason why the Chisholm Maroons were able to beat the Lakers Legends was that aggression. Now, players are jumping onto the pitch, and so too are we. We're staying at Mansfield as we get ready to kick off our second series of the afternoon. This is that fight for first place. A big-time series from two big-time teams. Chisholm Maroon in blue, Marsden Makos in orange, and we are underway. It's 6QC. I'm not sure how he wants that one pronounced, but what I do know is he wants that first goal just 4 seconds in, and SXQC is able to find that opening shot. It was a bit of a fake, actually. You can see that pre-jump and heavy commit by the defense, and it does mean that first goal will go through. A 1-0 lead for the defending champs in the Marsden Makos. Up to see how Chisholm Maroons now respond. Kickoff goals are just sort of an inevitability in Rocket League sometimes, and you can't let them play on your mental. I still want to see Chisholm establish that same aggressive posturing, that same heavy-handed attack that we saw before. SQC, though, tries to find the pass, but 6C. Actually, I think it might be pronounced 6C. If anyone in the Twitch chat knows how to pronounce that name, please let me know. ASAP. Dead from underneath, not required for the save. Instead, it will go to 6C, who gets it back across the middle. Brenny the Beast, always a fun player to watch out for. Gets it down to Dead. Mountain with no do, though, will take it away. Ball bouncing up into that corner. Brenny the Beast makes a challenge. Does win out XQC. Now will be the one pushing it forward. And SXQC already establishing himself as the fastest player on the pitch in game #1. This first minute, he has been the driving force for that kickoff goal, for each of the defensive clears as well. It's all come off the back of this player right here. So already looking like the player to watch, actually, on that Marsden Makos side, as opposed to Dead or Brenny, the more familiar names. Lasso on defense puts it up. Slow push forward by Marshall, and you can see Mount with no do bumping into his teammates. This is a scary sign. Chisholm Maroons, yes, they pulled off that upset win, but Game 3 wasn't the cleanest. By that stage, they were starting to sort of falter a bit, and we're starting to see the effects of that now kind of carry over. Again, double commits. Again, teammates bumping into each other. That's not going to be good enough, I feel like, against the Marsden Makos right now. Marsden's looking a lot more in control, a lot better spacing. Okay, a double commit right there, but they're going to be fine because Dead was still back. Put it a shot on target, actually, but not going to hit its mark. 2 minutes into our opening game. 1-0 lead right now in favor of the Marsden Makos side. I'd actually be quite surprised if we see another 3-0 here, but you never know. Dead puts a flick on target. Follow-through is going to come from 6C, but he won't be able to get that goal. Just under 3 minutes remaining. Brenny touches it towards the net, keeps it high. Mount with no do is able to catch it. Marshall from underneath doesn't like the initial read. Instead, Dead puts another one semi on target. Kind of pushed it a little bit too far forward. Brenny the Beast with the setup, with the shot. All for SXQC to bang it in. And that's a 2-goal cushion halfway through game #1. You see Brenny, that late touch, all the setup. 6C, who then gets it in. 2-0 lead in favor of this orange side. That's a lead that they're going to be very, very happy with. Probably should be able to hold on to it, seeing how these teams are playing. We haven't seen that Chisholm Maroon attack that we saw in our first series today, and that's a little bit concerning, I would have to believe. Brenny wants to make the read on the wall, doesn't find it from underneath. SXQC shot, follow through by Dead. It's got to go in, and that's going to be a 3-0 lead. As we watch this play once more, SXQC, backboard setup to Dead. That ball goes in, and this is a recurring problem I've actually seen from Chisholm Maroon after game #1 as well, and series #1, I should say. They're not playing backboard defense. Now, against the Lakers Legends, it really felt like they didn't have to play that backboard defense, but right now, it's being punished a lot more frequently by this Marston Makos side, and credit to the Marston Makos. They know how to play off the backboard, and it's such a deadly weapon in any team's arsenal if they're able to continuously sort of put that attacking pressure on right now. So this is looking good for the time being. SXQC puts one up. Follow through is there by Dead. Going to be caught by Lasso. Dead with the follow through. Mount with no do. Catches it mid-pitch. Dead now. That's for that challenge underneath, but doesn't find too much. Pinch back across the middle of the field. Someone's got to get there first. Who's it going to go to? It's going to go to Marshall. Falls back up. SXQC wants the touch, but instead winds up in Brady the Beast's hands. Gets Mountain with no do. Up and away. Lasso presses it up and off that backward. Marshall with the shot. Not quite going to connect. Lasso now. Initially wants to play the corner. Doesn't find too much. Brenny didn't like that initial touch as well. Mount with no do. Plays through the corner. Stopped by Brenny again. Still a minute left to play in this one, but a 3-goal cushion looks pretty good. I like this Chisholm attack. Again, you can see how well they have been able to sustain some of these attacks, and I feel like this is something that they've been practicing and working on. This is the result of practice paying off, and their attack looks very good. I just want to see that same consistency from the Chisholm Maroons' defensive efforts as well, and that's kind of becoming the difference in this series right now, because the Marston Makos, they're looking like a more complete team. They have these dynamic defensive clears, and Brenny Fields backflip. That's unfortunate. Mount with no do will be able to clear it back up the other way, and that's going to be a goal taken in return. 2-goal cushion right now in favor of this orange side, but it's not going to be a shutout. Marston Makos do get one back, and that one has got to feel good. Here we go. 35 seconds to play. SXQC gets the touch. We'll follow it through up top. Accidentally kind of pushes it back down. Dead now will be the one trying to establish something. It's going to be off of the roof. Do we see the shot from Dead? Not quite. 20 seconds left to spare. 1-3 play. 15 seconds remaining. Game number 1. It's going to be done and dusted, it looks like. Victory going for the Marston Makos. They really did a better job, I feel like, in controlling the tempo and pace of this game. An own goal to possibly finish this one off. You love and hate to see the own goals, yet here we are. SXQC couldn't quite get it past. Lasso will be the one who taps that in. Always a little bit awkward, but hey, it is what it is, as they like to say. So 4-1 should be our final score at the end of game number 1. A relatively dominant performance from the Marston Makos. I really just liked how complete their game was. Nothing too showy, nothing too overly ambitious, just solid fundamentals and solid Rocket League. And that is how you really grow as a team, especially in this level. It's one of the reasons why they're the defending champs right now. And SXQC stepped up big. I mean, I think towards the tail end of the game, it was actually Dead, who was much more of an influencer on everything. But SXQC, he was the one who set that tempo. You got that kickoff goal followed by all those big solo defensive clears that allowed the Marston Makos to stay on that attack. And unfortunately, it kind of exposed Chisholm Maroon a little bit. Their defense, not nearly as strong as their offense. You don't see that same level of team cohesion, that same level of synergy. It's a lot more panicky for this blue side when they do find themselves on that defensive half. That's where we're seeing the double commits. That's where we're seeing the panic mechanics come through, and that's just not going to be good enough, unfortunately, for the Chisholm Maroon side if they want to come back in this series. Game 1, very dominant for the Marston Makos. Let's see if they're going to be able to continue it as we are kicking off game number 2 right now. Ball will get pushed forward. SXQC again with that cheat on the follow-through. Doesn't have the height to make the backboard read. And Marshall, relatively quiet in game number 1, goes for the bump. I love that play. Oh, my goodness. What a fake by Marshall. Sets up Lasso, gets the bump on Brenny the Beast. And that is the team cohesion that fires everyone up onto the Chisholm Maroon side. A beautifully executed offensive goal. Look, is it flashy? No. There were 0 resets, 0 double touches, but that's not what gets me excited about Rocket League. Sometimes just executing on the basic fundamentals can just really really looked so good, and that was the start that I feel this Chisholm team needed. Once more, it looks like another sustained offensive attack. This time it's going to be Mountain with no do who puts it in, and this is much more comfortable for this Chisholm side. They've got themselves that 2-goal lead that they were lacking before, and from this point here, I feel like they should be able to control the tempo of the game, but you cannot write off this Marsden Mako team. I mean, I'm still looking at SXQC. I know what he can do on an individual level. Brenny the Beast, solid player. There's a reason why this is a fight for first place right now. This series still can go either way. And I did say at the start, we probably weren't going to be seeing a 3-0. Well, SXQC still tries to push it forward. Ball on the blue side of the pitch. Marshall goes up, finds the touch he was looking for. Dead actually forced to play a bit of shadow defense. I liked that touch because it sets up SXQC to follow it through. Play through the corner. That net's actually kind of open, but not enough of a go realistically. SXQC couldn't find the angle he was looking for to really bang it off that backboard for that pass. A little bit unfortunate. Kind of a missed opportunity, I feel like, for Marsden Makos. They got a little bit too fast for their own good. Now, 3.5 minutes still left to play. It's going to be a Chisholm attack. It's going to be a Chisholm goal. Marshall just finds that right angle and somehow lobs it in. That's a feels-good moment for Chisholm right there. A 3-goal cushion, similar to what was done to them in game number 1. And realistically, I tend to feel that the 3-goal cushion is usually what gives you victories. So that's going to be a good showing from this Chisholm Maroon side. And I feel like we're going to be holding our breath a little bit because Dead gets one back. I want to see this angle again. All right. That's a good shot. Lasso just didn't have the height there to make the save. Dead finds that angle. I mean, that's about 75 degrees, so it wasn't the craziest angle, but it was just such a well-placed ball. I mean, the upper right corner, you can't ask for much more than that. And Brenny the Beast now will be the one leading the charge. Marsden Makos, the moment I start to possibly write them out, it is Dead who comes alive, spiking that one through. Double commit on the backboard. Now, I did say earlier in this series, I was a little bit nervous about the Chisholm Maroon backboard defense. Well, overcompensating, it looked like. A double commit on that backboard, not what they needed in that situation. It opens the doorway for Dead to spike it through. And just like that, we are back down within one shot. Not going to follow it through as we see a bit of a backward play at this stage. Mount with no do out of the corner. For the lead to SXQC. Going for a touch, but gets demoed in the process. Dead tries to throw it back down. Lasso there. Doesn't turn it into a shot. Dead again goes for a big 50. Beats out Mountain with no do. Marshall in their own corner. SXQC again on that attack. Ooh, pinch. Stopped at the moment. Dead. Gonna make a shot. That's going the distance. Mountain with no do taps it in. And a 3-goal cushion is evaporated in under a minute. The Marsden Makos come back with a vengeance. They're looking to take this game. They're looking to take this series. They want that sweep. They heard me doubt them. I think that's what was it. The Marsden Makos, the defending champion school. Well, now they're looking good, although that kickoff nearly went in favor of the Chisholm Maroon side. Lasso, another one on target. This time the defense is able to stop it for now. SXQC and Brenny the Beast go up, but his Mount with no do, who pushes it towards the net a little bit high. Actually, a lot of it high. That thing was absolutely lobbed way too high for anyone to make a play on it right there. 2:15 left to play. Dead trying to hold it in position. Mount with no do instead clears it back down. Looking for that breakaway. Stop made by Brenny the Beast. Lasso throws it a bit of a back pass, but it goes into the waiting hands of Dead. What a pass! Good shot from SXQC, but that's not going to be a goal just yet. Mount with no do takes it back across the middle of the pitch right now. Tries to play a little bit of juggle ball. Marshall throws it towards the middle, but doesn't find his mark. Minute 52 to go. Marshall swings. Marshall misses. Fall through from underneath. Mount with no do. Pass back. Caught by SXQC. It's tie game. Minute 44 left to play. Big demo comes from SXQC. The shot was saved by SXQC. Marsden get in their own way. Not what they needed at that moment. Brenny's shot would have been in. Dead cannot get the ball away from the Chisholm counterattack, but Brenny can. Now with no do now, can only back pass it unless we see some dribble skills. Challenge won by Dead. SXQC pushes it back across the middle of the field. Dead looking for the spike. Doesn't find it just yet. As underneath we go. Brenny spikes, pinches that one up, I should say. Marshall will now look to play the corner. SXQC goes up. Looks for that next touch. Doesn't make contact with it. And Mountain with no do will find the clear. Dead now. Looks to push it forward, but it's actually Lasho who takes advantage. Mountain with no do. Looks for that redirect shot. The net is open off the demo, and for the second time this game, such a clean setup and goal from the Chisholm Maroon side. Mount with no do just lobs it near the goal, but Lasso with that demo is really what opened that doorway right there. Fantastic setup, fantastic demo, great goal for this Chisholm Maroon team. Now they're sitting at that situation where they are less than a minute away from tying this series up. Again, this is a best of 5, and I think we're going to be seeing fireworks every single game that we get privileged to see in this one. Lasso tries to clear it down, but instead it will wind up in the possession of SXQC. A little bit of a dribble, but not enough to push it back to the blue side of the pitch. Ball on that wrong side. Not much more to say right there. Marston Makos, they need to make something happen. They've got 30 seconds to do so. Dead. A little bit of a dribble play. Makes one defender miss. Ball still in a dangerous spot. Brenny's shot is challenged and beaten out. Good pass to Mount with no do. Marshall, open goal, but he misses the pool completely. Backboard, crossbar save. 12 seconds. Still a fighting chance for this Marston Makos side. Dead versus Lasso. This is it. It's a pass to Brenny, but Lasso gets underneath it. Looks to try and spike it down. Gets it into the corner. That ball is low. Marshall, no. Let it dribble. Let it end. Instead, Dead with boost, with the chance. Gets pushed off by Mountain with no do. Off of that backboard. Still Brenny on the wrong side. Pushes it too far forward, and the Chisholm Maroons take game number 2. Okay. So, sloppy play. I'm going to be quite honest. Exciting, yes. Have to acknowledge the fact that it was kind of sloppy as well. Not the cleanest game between these two teams. And I feel, especially towards the end, when the panic mechanics really were starting to come through, that's where we saw the breakdown. Chisholm Maroon, they still fall victim to double commits at time. Yet, the Marston Makos, they just weren't able to sort of break past that mid-pitch line cleanly and set up their own offensive attacks. Those aggressive challenges from the Chisholm side are still doing more good than harm. Very, very interesting game, and it was good to see Chisholm kind of regain their composure, regain themselves, but you cannot deny how absolutely impressive that 3-goal comeback was in the middle of that game. It was a minute, and they brought it back from 3-0 to 3 apiece. They just couldn't find that 4th goal. So, as we do go into game number 3, we'll at least be seeing 4 games. We can kind of calm down a bit. This one here, just to determine who will be at match point. Yeah, nothing crazy. As we do keep on working with this one. Brenny, challenge went out by Marshall from underneath. Dead. Couldn't find the clear. Good setup from Lasso, and I like this. Marston Makos, they're actually racing towards their own boost. That was something that we didn't see out of the Lakers legends. They were playing too passive on defense in terms of their boost management, and they got punished by this Chisholm side. Marston Makos, not letting that happen to them. They're going to fight for their own boost. They're going to challenge it, and then they'll have the resources available for those defensive clears. It's a good way to sort of circumvent the approach that Chisholm is looking for in this game. SXQC bounces that ball up, looks for the follow-through, will push it in. Great individual effort coming from SXQC. He's kind of who carried them to that Game 1 victory, and he's looking to do the same now in Game number 3. Absolutely drills that shot. Also, I see you getting active there in that Twitch chat. Looks like the Marston Makos do have a bit of a fan base going for them in this series, so obviously going to be feeling good after that start. A lot of time left in game number 3. Can't get too deep into it right now. Dead. Able to bang it down. Caught by Brenny. Mount with no do. Goes for a clear. Oh, Lasso misses. I like the immediate punish attempt out of Dead, but it'll be SXQC who finds the goal in his wake. A 2-0 lead now in favor of this Marston Makos side, and we're starting to look at a great turnaround from this Marston Makos team. 2 goals up, similar to game number 1, and in a sense similar to game number 2, just if you reverse the roles. So what do you want to see? Lasso now, the one in possession. Kind of has the ball get bumped around. Up the wall we go. Marshall doesn't like that initial read. Instead it goes to Brenny. Pass back. SXQC. That's a bit of a miss right there, but it was a fake for Dead, who instead bangs it through from underneath. And now we got a 3-goal cushion in favor of the Marston Makos. Dead absolutely drills that. 101 kilometers per hour. Great goal. Great, great goal. Want to see more of that. Want to see more of that. Dead versus Marshall has Dead kind of lose out on that kickoff just because Mount with no do was able to make the read. As we saw in game 2, though, a 3-goal cushion that can evaporate in a hot minute. So definitely cannot count out the Chisholm Maroon, especially with how aggressive they can get one on this offensive side of the pitch. Like, this is interesting, though. That was way too aggressive. No one was willing to rotate back, and eventually you do see the Marston Makos actually punish them for it, but Marston goes too far for it themselves. Dead. That's a nice setup for Chisholm. Someone's got to go for it. It's going to be Lasso. SXQC will push it back to the corner. Very interesting play right there as, all right, interesting little donation happening, by the way. You can go ahead and check out that link, although we are into November now, so I'm kind of curious how that entirely works out. Dead with that bump, able to throw away a defender. Gets that touch as well, but it's a pass back to Marshall. This could be the start of the comebacks. SXQC does something big there with that save. Dead now on the counterattack. Shadow defense, not good enough from Lasso. 4-0 lead for the Marston Makos, and now it's starting to look like game number 3 very much in control of this orange side. Crazy to think that these high schoolers are at that GC level. It's absolutely so impressive. I just realized something. I'm going to try and look something up, actually, in between these games, perhaps, in regards to Dead, because I think Dead, I could be completely wrong on this, but I actually think he's been playing in the ODL. I think this might actually be an ODL player right here, so I'm going to just double check that right quick as the gameplay does continue right now. Bit of an action-packed situation. Lasso with that clear towards the middle of the pitch. Ready, the Beast will put it up. SXQC tries to turn it into a shot. No save to be made by Marshall. Accidentally backflips that one in. A 5-0 lead now for the Marston Makos. And 3-goal cushions, yeah, they're comebackable. 5-goal cushions, I think that's probably going to do us for this third game. And, you know, credit where credit is due. Fantastically done by this team. That's the exact sort of effort you do want to see. And great few goals right there taken by them in this one. We wait to see a bit more of this back and forth right now. Interesting touch from Mount with no do. Doesn't quite go the way he's looking for. And yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to find that information I was looking for quite fast enough. So for now, Dead, I'm just going to go with that hunch that I think I saw you in ODL. So if I'm mistaken, my apologies. For those of you who don't know, by the way, ODL is just another league that is happening. It's a sort of semi-professional league that's going on right now, which takes a lot of the best players within the Oceanic region. Not the tippy top, but everyone who's sort of like that tier below and down. And some of the tippy top, actually, Caveman Ben is participating in it. You know what? We're going off topic. Let's focus on this final minute at hand right here. Marshall gets a nice little touch. Mount with no do goes for a pinch. Tries to get into that corner. SXQC throws it back. 50-50. One out by the orange side for now. Let's see what the Marston Makos can do. Goose collected by Dead. Looking to throw it back towards the goal. It's off of that backboard, but we don't see that follow-through shot. Instead, Lasso will be the one who bangs it forward. Ball out of the corner. Dead tries to make the read. Now it's going to go forward themselves. Tries to drive it the distance, but won't find the mark. Now with no do. Presses it. SXQC swings and misses. Shot from Lasso, but it's going to be saved by Dead. Dead is playing so well. Credit where credit is due to Dead right now. He is actually doing a fantastic bit of effort right here. That's going to go the distance towards that backboard. Marshall with a chance. And it will wind up with Mount with no do putting in. So we don't get the 5-0 shutout. We do get that 1 second or 11-second goal, I should say, before we get ready to go into our fourth and possibly final game. Might not be as well. All depends on what Chisholm Maroon can do with that bit of momentum that they secure for themselves at the tail end of that one. Look. Dying seconds. 7 seconds left to play. Ball out of that corner. Mount with no do absolutely bangs it clear, but Dead will push it into the corner instead. 1 second left. Shot comes from Mount with no do, and it's not going to turn into a goal. So, GG's well played being typed out, but there still is more Rocket League to come. As the Marston Makos, they still got to win one more if they're going to take this series. A win here would establish the Marston Makos once again, I feel like, as the best team within this XPHSL Queensland State Championship of Rocket League. Just got to take this one. They can do it. They are that number 1 team at this stage due to the loss faced by the Lakers legends in our first series today. It's going to be a good matchup either way, though, as we're getting ready to go into game number 4. We saw the Chisholm Maroon side bounce back before, but it wasn't clean when they did. They've got to do it one last time. Oh, my goodness. So many no ways being dropped. I'm not entirely sure what's going on right there. Either way, we are kicking this one off. Ball going across the middle of the pitch. That first touch comes from Marshall, but Brenny makes the read. I like the aggressive positioning of Chisholm, though. It's the Chisholm special. So, too, are double and turning into triple commits. Enough time was bought for Lasso to fall all the way back, but he really needed to get that mid-pitch boost. Missing that does mean it's a deeper clear, and it's more time for the Marston Makos to react now. But Marston kind of double committing themselves, so a little bit of sloppy defense and offense from both sides. Not the start I was looking to look for in this 4th game. Still, SXQC, an open net and a big goal from SX. And that is one to build off the momentum of that pass game. Look how open that goal is. XXQC absolutely driving it home. 118 kilometers per hour. A statement goal if I have ever seen one. And that bodes so well for this Marston Makos side. Getting that first goal, it's going to feel good. Here, though, comes the Chisholm Maroon. They're going to try to challenge in that corner. Lasso has an open net now, but no, it's Marshall who takes it and finds that goal. That angle was tight. A very tight angle. I think that's got to be 88.5, I would say. 88.5 degrees, and is still able to get that one in. You got to pop off after that shot right there. The double commit had me scared. I thought Lasso actually had the better angle to make that shot, but Marshall proving us all wrong, apparently, as we have a tie game with 4 minutes left to go. That means we got at least one more goal in this day, on this day. I see clearly now. Mountain with no do. Doesn't get that spike back down. Lasso looks to make the read off the wall, but isn't able to get there in time. It all relies down to Dead, pushing forward. Challenge lost. An absolute banger of a dunk right there. Actually might set up this Chisholm Maroon attack. Lasso starting to steal those boosts away. This is dangerous. Brenny has to challenge. Boost still in that corner. Someone's got to collect it. I do think it went over to the Marston Makos side. It was Brenny who eventually picked it up. So resources back and available for the Marston Makos. They use it to clear it back up the pitch. That's going to be a shot, and that's going to be a goal from Dead. 2-1 lead. Back in favor of the team trying to end the series in 4. As you see, Dead, it was just a nice aerial shot, perfectly put in place right there, right above the goalkeep. Those are the kinds of goals that could win you a series. Still plenty of time. 3:25 left. Kickoff does find itself going off that backboard. Waterfalling down to SXQC from underneath. Doesn't like that initial read. Whoa! Everyone's swinging and everyone's missing. Finally, we see the double touch come from out with no do, but it doesn't turn into a goal. Brenny looks for that clear, but doesn't quite follow it through the way he would like. Dead gets bumped well and truly off that ball. Mount with no do. Oh, a nice sidewall pass to themselves. It's all to set up Marshall, who doesn't make contact with the shot. That was a good opportunity, and it might have been squandered. As we see a big shot from their own side of the pitch. It's a little bit too high. That could have put this game away. We're at that stage right now. Dead spikes it, and it does not go in. Mountain with no do. Able to get underneath it and comes up big with the save right there. SXQC just watches that ball kind of roll underneath into the waiting arms of Marshall. Push it back up, Brenny. Okay, not happy with that one just yet. Marshall now tries to push it back forward. Instead, it winds up with Lasso. Cannot quite follow through. Out of the corner we go. Mountain with no do strikes and scores. And we are once again tied. Half of a game left to be played. This is getting tense. This is getting so tense. It's what we wanted to see. 2:24 remaining in this one. 2 goals aside. As we see Mount with no do. Put it up. Marshall looking for that follow through. Instead throws it back. Lasso. Ooh, a bit of an awkward read. Does find the bump on the tail end of it all. A lot of players on the wrong side of the pitch right there. That was interesting. No one really too eager to commit to it. Finally, we do see Chisholm get to it first, but that attack short-lived. That's a dangerous touch. That's not what you want. Dead, of course, is going to punish that one. Marshall just couldn't get the read they were looking for, and Dead will be able to tap that one in. A 3-2 lead now in favor of this Marston side, and I hate to call players out. I really do, but a lot of these unforced errors, unfortunately, have been coming on the back end of Marshall right now. And I know Marshall can be that clean player. We've seen it before. Just needs to calm those nerves down and execute on the basics, I feel like. And this is a good chance for redemption. Marshall gets it past one defender, but can't bang it past the second. What an intricate counterattack! Brenny the Beast is credited with the goal, but watch this pass. Dead perfectly finds Brenny, the defender we thought that got beaten out. He goes from, disaster to hero. Great play. Great play out of Marston Makos. That one was a thing of beauty. So difficult to pull off. That's a big lead. As we do have a minute 35 left. SXQC open net. Look, I don't want to call it now, but a 3-goal lead with 90 seconds. I pretty feel confident that that could be it. The open net in that situation tells me that Chisholm, they're kind of already starting to abandon traditional defense. They're throwing everything that they can on the attack, and it's just not going to be good enough. Not today, not in this series, not against the way Marsden is playing. SXQC and Dead have been just so good on the attack with their strikes. Brenny the Beast as that third member, finding those opportunities as well. This is now looking like a team that wants to defend their Season 2 championship. This is looking like a team that wants to claim their rightful place atop this ladder. And if you are the Lakers Legends, if you are Chisholm Maroon, this is a statement series win that you have to take notice of. This is sort of turning into a 3-horse race, it feels like, in this league, but SXQC just adding further emphasis to the points. A 6-goal statement in this fourth and what is going to be final game. If that ball didn't hit the ground, I would have called that a perfect strike. Yeah, see, Dead even knows as that one hit the ground, that was kind of going to be it. Mr. Rat has left the match. Who is Mr. Rat? Get Mr. Rat back in here. We need back Mr. Rat. I have no idea who that is. Marshall goes for that double touch off the backboard. Doesn't quite follow it through right there. And now instead we see a bit of a corner play. Dead looking to push it forward. Now with no do. Tries to throw it back. Oh, that's a big demo. Not big enough. Marshall keeps the ball up. SXQC will drive it forward. 30 seconds left. And look, this match is done. Credit where credit is due. Chisholm Maroon, they did take a game off of the Marsden Makos, and I like this new attack from this Chisholm Maroon side, but as you can see right here, again, it's just the defense not able to match that same synergy, that same aggression that we're seeing out of this Chisholm Maroon attack, and it's really interesting to see this sort of team dynamic, how heavily it shifted since we've last seen him on stream. And while I do like this version of Chisholm Maroon better, they're still not quite that complete team. Marsden Makos and even the Lakers Legends in their loss showed more balance to me today. Marsden Makos in particular. Strong defense, stronger offense. This team looks so good. Some of the speed on the Marsden Makos defensive counterattacks were absolutely phenomenal. So a fantastic effort from this team. You're well-deserving champions of this series, and they're going to be going forward right now. The #1 team in this ladder, Chisholm Maroon. I think that loss is going to sting a bit because you come off 3-0ing that team in first place, and then you just cannot get it done yet again to the Marsden Makos. That team that ruined their, season championship winning victory before, that team that has now beaten them twice during this regular season. That is the team that I feel like Chisholm Maroons, if they're going to become our championship team, Marsden Makos are going to be that final hurdle for them to overcome, and it's just not there yet. They took a game off them. They're showing improvement, but they're not at that level. Dead and SXQC really elevating this Marsden Mako team today, and they are your team to beat. They are going to be first place in the ladder. They are the ones to watch out for, and what more would you expect from your defending champs? For myself, though, however, I still am excited to see where this season goes. We still got 3 more weeks of regular season before we get into this top 4 playoffs, so it's going to be a blast as we take a look again at our results from today. Chisholm Maroons 3-0s the Lakers Legends, that undefeated team before we started, and then the Marsden Makos trying to retake that crown right back from the Chisholm Maroons side. If it was a WWE-style championship belt, we would have seen 2 championship changes today, so that's always exciting. I hope you did all enjoy yourselves as well watching these games. I know I did. I have to admit, something about Rocket League, whenever you're having a bad day and things aren't going your way, you just put on some Rocket League and you smile because the games are always fun, always exciting. One last time, a big thank you to our sponsors for this event, Computer Alliance, ZQ Racing. You guys are each awesome. A big announcement as well, just to sort of reiterate myself, 2021, we're going even bigger. We're going even better. We're talking state regions and then national level. 4 conferences, North, South, East, and West. Queensland and NT in the North. Victoria, South Australia, Tasmania, they're down south. West, well, I think you guys can figure that out. Spoilers, it's Western Australia. And then the New South Wales and the ACT get that. I guess you can call it the Eastern. The official name right now is the Central Coast Conference, or the CCC. I'm going to petition for that to change. There's going to be arguments happening backstage. Blood will be shed. But more importantly than all that, all of this is being done to support the development of grassroots Rocket League. We want to bring the high school esports scene to that next level, and we're going to try to do our best here at XP. On that note, though, it is time to say goodbye. Have a great afternoon, everybody. I have been Formal Casting, and until next week, see you then.